document floating around on the internet seems to allude to Russia shutting off access to the internet for just about everybody outside of Russia. So let's talk about that. Newsy news. Good morning, all of you beautiful YouTube Tarkovians. My name is Onepeg, and this is another Escape from Tarkov, news video. So today there was, a new piece of information circulating around on the internet that seems to allude to Russia turning off access to its servers, domain names, DNS hosting, etc., to anyone outside of Russia. According to the Eastern European media conglomerate of Nexta, they said that Russia began active preparations for disconnection from the global internet. No later than March 11th, all servers and domains must be transferred to the Russian zone. In addition, detailed data on the network infrastructure of the sites is being collected. And they showed these two images. Now, there is a counterpoint to all of this, I guess. The voice of dissension in this case comes from this guy, Oleg Shakirov, who lists himself as a senior expert at CPUR.ru, a consultant. CPUR is the Center for Advanced Governance, located, in Russia, which appears to be a consulting firm that deals with strategic management of digital assets, transforming physical media to digital, reforming current systems, and then auditing those systems to make sure that they work appropriately. According to Oleg, he says that the Russia disconnecting from the internet is inaccurate and doesn't make sense at the current time, and that all of this is governmental in nature. However, there is also a page here in his hand translation of what is actually being said. This first page having to do with actual federal government Russian offices, and this second one having to do with large federal-level telecom companies, which we obviously know the government, in the case of Russia, is going to have a hand in. Do I think that BSG is going to end up getting cut off from the world? I have no idea. What I can see, or what it appears to be, is since the UK has monetarily cut off the rest of Russia from any access to UK funds, which, if you didn't know, BSG is headquartered, centralized in the United Kingdom. Their main office is in the UK, even though everyone that works for BSG is located in St. Petersburg. The money apparently is flowing through England. That's where they file their taxes. However, all of the SWIFT transfer stuff that allows money to travel internationally between banking institutions has more or less been cordoned off by the rest of the world. So whether or not BSG can get money in to be able to continue doing its development, I don't know. I put out feelers to ask how the guys at BSG were doing. I haven't really heard anything back, other than just pleasantries and saying that they're still good. They can't get any more specific than that. And if they did, I couldn't popularize it anyway. At this point in the video, I'm going to assume that there are people watching that would say that BSG hasn't said anything negative about the Russian government, and therefore people shouldn't be supporting them. There are a couple of reasons here that I want to say that I believe that to be a little bit ludicrous. The first being that unless you're going to BSG and are contemplating buying a new copy of Escape from Tarkov right now, there's no new money flowing into the company. The money that they have is from a purchase that you already made. You're not supporting them any more now than you were supporting them before. Unless, again, you're going and spending new money and buying something from them today. So the idea of not supporting a Russian company is a little bit weird. Now, of course, we as content creators are, at some level, advertisers for the development of Escape from Tarkov, and people that have never played it or seen it before still exist, obviously, and they could go and buy a copy today, and therefore, through us, they're pseudo-supporting Russian businesses. But that Russian business, just because it's located in Russia, is still filled with a bunch of our friends. And I wouldn't stop supporting my friends just because they lived in Russia. I'm not going to stop talking to people that are friends of mine just because they live in Russia. They're not part of the Russian government. They're not actively participating in the conflict. There are people that are also going to argue that since BSG hasn't said anything disparaging against the Russian government and its actions, that they must somehow be in passive support of it. The thing is that unless you understand how the Russian government works and the freedoms that the Russian people have, then it could, I suppose, look like that on the surface. The problem is that we have a First Amendment right, as does a lot of the Western world, where there's a freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the ability to be able to say and speak your mind without repercussions from the government. Russia doesn't have that luxury. People that speak out against the government, if they're big enough, If their message is widespread enough, they get disappeared. People that are normal and speak out against the Russian government get convicted of speaking out against the Russian government and then go to prison for obscene numbers of years. So they can't just come out and say, we don't like this. At no level do I feel as though there are people that are so nationalistic inside of BSG that they would just blindly support what is going on in the region. It doesn't make sense. There's way too much to lose in the case of their business, especially with the Western world being so against all of this that is going on in the Ukraine, for them to then side with the Russian government. It doesn't make sense. Before you pass judgment, all I would ask is that you please take all of these things into consideration. It doesn't jive to just say, like, well, in my own little bubble and how I was raised, this is how it goes. That's not how the world works. People live different lives. Do I know whether or not the service will get shut down? Of course not. Is it possible? Yeah, it absolutely is. I remain hopeful. No one knows. No one really knows. They could blink out of existence tomorrow, or it could be fine. It could be fine. I hope it stays fine. I love to play this video game. I want to keep playing the video game, and I obviously see that there are larger implications than just being able to play a video game on the internet that would happen if they did decide to disconnect themselves from the rest of the world as far as information is concerned. Because apparently propaganda just isn't good enough. And that's the last political thing that I'm probably going to say about any of this. I don't like getting political. I don't really like discussing all of this stuff, but I think it's important to at least touch on it a little bit. For the record, I hope the people in Ukraine stay safe. I hope all of my friends in Russia stay safe. I hope the people at BSG are able to just go to work and have a normal day. I would love for everyone in those two affected areas to be able to go have a normal day that isn't full of fear and propaganda and hateful bullshit. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace. Vamp?
Yeah, I don't know where this guy is.
He's not inside anymore. His buddy is dead.
Okay.
He might have looted him and ran.
Maybe. Oh, nope. That shot was him.
Oh, he's on the shelves. Shelves are... No, he's on the Connex. Red Connex. He just ran up on me. Holy shit, what the fuck? He, like, blinked in out of nowhere. He's right on the other side of the red Connex.
Okay.
Jesus
So
Christ.
hurt.
And he head eyes me. He had two hits, head eyes. He hit me double tap me in the face.